And we are back for round one. Unfortunately, we lost the die roll, and more unfortunately, that hand is really not great. I think I kind of have to mulligan it since I cannot cast that yet, and I have a 7 and a 6 drop. That seems quite bad. Alright, I'll keep that. It seems better. I guess I have the same 6 and 7, but I have the Seed Guardian that can protect me. I think at this point I don't really want a 5 drop, so I'll put that on the bottom. It's a decent card though that I would probably be happy to cast, but I kinda need to draw lands and things to cast a bit earlier. So there is that. Alright, Prudent Worm is not bad. If I can ever draw a force land. Well, given my mulligan and the fact that I'm playing red-black Eldrazi, I might have trouble. Bone Splinter does not look great so far. And actually I'm missing blue, because it kind of felt like I was playing a red-green-black so far, but I'm actually, a green-black deck, but I'm actually playing green-blue. And whew, well, that Forerunner is pretty much the worst thing that could have happened. So, yeah, I'm pretty much getting tossed on my neck there. There's just not much else to say. Pulse is not bad because will most likely need life at some point, but yeah, I think if I don't draw a land next turn, I will pretty much straight up lose. At least the opponent didn't play a creature there. Because playing something like a Nether Drone and attacking for 8, whew, I would have most likely died. Invoker, alright, well at least it's not an Eldrazi. I could play that now, just to gain 6 life. Is it right to do so? That's an interesting choice because, well, if I don't draw any land, I'll still be able to do that. The thing is, I'm lacking time. That's the. It feels so wrong to use that. Oh, actually, I cannot even use it because I need a target. So there is no question to be asked there. Bilot Pup. Well, not my favorite thing to draw. At least I have a target for my Pulse now. I could use Bone Splinter to kill the Forerunner. The advantage of doing that is that I might want to do that just because if my opponent has a Removal, I understand that we could trade if he attacks, but let's say my opponent just have something like anything, an Oblivion Strike, Reality Hemorrhage, Touch of the Void, then he kills that and attacks for 7. I go down to 4. Yeah. Also, this could give Ace to another. Yeah, I think this is not the trade I really want to make, but I think I kind of have to do so, and unfortunately. Not the most appealing play to make, though. But yeah, given the start of my opponent, my draw and mulligan, that was pretty bad. Yeah, I don't really have much of a choice there. If my opponent only attacks for 3 and pass, though, ooh, I could come back in this game. Alright, and we drew a Scion Summoner, which is not a land, but provide me with defenses and kind of helps me potentially cast a Seed Guardian next turn, which would be great. Alright, so we are playing a Chant deck, apparently. Hopefully nothing too threatening happens there. Well, Translator is actually fine. I kind of have to take 2 there, though. Please give me a land. No land. Yup. Keeping 3 land and never ever drawing a fourth land is not the best you can do, obviously. I guess I'll play the Seed Guardian, which provide me with decent defenses. And, yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to do something at some point, but things are looking grim. Pathfinder. Well, that's certainly not a good news. As I drew a non-land again. Alright. Alright, alright. Well, I guess I'll end up pulsing for my pop. Yep. Sometimes the game just doesn't want you to win. And a complete disregard now on the Guardian, so I don't get a token. So let's say I pulse, I go back to 12, then I have to either take... Yeah, I think I can concede at this point. I'm not straight up dead, but no reason to show a pulse or any other card, because there's no way I'm winning. That was a very unfortunate game, but this is... I guess this is the game. There's just not much I can do. Alright. Do I want to change up things? My opponent could be playing some what's the name of that thing? Sky Scours. That being said, I didn't see any flyer yet. Yeah, I think I'll keep my deck the way it is for now. Hopefully we'll have some better draws though, because that... Well, that was mostly unfortunate. Alright, I think I kinda wanna play first. And this is a much better hand that I'm gonna keep. So, the opponent mulled to 6, which I guess is kind of a revenge for me, and put a card on bottom. Alright. I think I'll fetch my swamp there, because if I were to draw my Seed Guardian, which is probably the only cast that I cannot, the only card that I cannot cast with the land I have, I can still cast it off the Vestige actually, so it doesn't matter too much, and I don't need colorless because of the Vestige. So yeah. Alright, Bursting Hulk. Well, if I can ever cast it, it's gonna be good. Alright. Well, at least we'll play the game there, because... Well, last game it didn't felt like I actually played the game. Right, Gorger. Well, I don't mind drawing those strong creatures, because I think they are good in this matchup, if I can manage to cast them, which I should be able to do. But I could use more lands. At least, given the Eldrazi token, I can already cast a 6-drop, potentially. Ooh, that Flare Drone is annoying. I mean, it's gonna be a 4-power first striker. So I could play a Path Warden here. Don't think I want to do that too much, though. I think I'd rather keep my token around to cast maybe a Bursting Hulk next turn. I don't really know, but I don't. Especially since the opponent could simply equip the Captain's Claw here, and I would not be able to attack ever with my Path Warden, so it doesn't seem like the best trade. Well, I guess I'll take 4 there, not much I can do. Alright. Yep, that Flare Drone is gonna beat down. Unknown Shores. At this point, I'm quite sure that my best play is Canopy Gorger, just because it can block that efficiently, as none of my other creature can do. Alright, so let's produce green and not messed up. Alright. And I'll sacrifice a token. No point in waiting for the second main phase to cast that. I don't think it changed a lot of things. And let's continue the beatdown with the Sky Spawner. If my opponent does have some sort of trick to attack through the Gorger, ugh, that's gonna be bad news. Yup. I do not like that too much. I have 2 choices there. I could either block and probably get, you know, destroyed by a trick, or not block and try to race. Yeah. Guess I'll try to raise. Don't really wanna trade my Gorgio for any pump spell that my opponent could have. And you know, I have those tokens, so I feel like I should be able to chump block later on if needed. So yeah, I think I can afford to raise here. Obviously, we cannot always do that, but here I think it's fine. And you know, Gorger attacking is gonna be pressure, so there is that too. Alright, an hemorrhage on my Sky Spawner. Well, this is the trick that would have killed my Gorger. Sure. Yeah, my opponents still have to deal with that. And the bigger creature I'm gonna cast. I could play Path Warden. Or Bursting Hulk. Bursting Hulk might be a bit better, but I have to sacrifice a token, which I don't like too much given these. Path Warden might force my opponent to stop attacking. Yeah. Alright. I'm not sure. It's not an easy call. I think I'll keep a black open to potentially represent a natural endurance and pass the turn. My opponent does have only 2 cards left in hand though. And he continues to attack. Alright. I guess I'll take 4 more damages. And be fine with that happening. An aggressor, alright. Alright. And moving the close on that. So my opponent can double block the Path Warden with those. But I don't mind killing that since it could really be an issue later on. And I drew Sylvan Advocate, which is actually great at blocking. Alright, I guess honestly, I really think I don't mind trading the Path Warden for that, especially given that I'm at 6. So this kills me in 2 turns if my opponent does have lands. Yeah, if this happens, I'm fine. And you're pretty much as expected. Alright. So I guess my opponent will go down to 4. And Advocate was an amazing draw, that's for sure. Alright, I feel in a good shape there. I have some very threatening cards, and the opponent probably doesn't have much more going on. And I have also a Bursting Hulk in hand, so bearing some... Alright, well that's not great for me, but that's still beatable. I'll chump there, though I don't think I can afford to take the damages. But it doesn't matter too much because I can cast the Hulk off the Cultivator drone next turn if needed. So I could sacrifice this, but I don't think I gain a lot by doing that, so no reason to do so. Well, Seed Guardian is gonna be good at some point, I would assume. Alright, and the opponent does have to chump block there. Should I attack with the drone? Don't think so. My opponent could also have some threat and effect, so I might as well keep blockers around, because I don't think I'm ever losing this game bearing some very weird things. Alright. Yeah, Bursting Hulk should seal the deal, I would assume. Alright, yeah, pretty much what I expected. So we are definitely playing a red-black beatdown Eldrazi deck. Rhinospace is quite strong too. That should not be an awful matchup, I think, given what I have. I don't really know, but I don't know. Overall, I have some very solid creatures, a bit of card advantage, some good defensive cards like Pearls and my token producer. So I don't think it should be the worst matchup. Giant Mantis, I think I'm gonna play a Mantis over Brood Hunter Worm. The reason is Mantis beats a Flare Drone as Brood Hunter gets beaten by Flare Drone. Also, I'll be on the draw, so I'll play a more defensive game. So I think Mantis has a bit more upside. And maybe I should even have sided in for the second game. But that being said, I did not play a lot game 1, so I did not see much. So I don't think I already wanted the Mantis in the main deck. But here I think it's just better than a Brood Hunter Worm in the 4-drop slot. We have a solid end there that I'm gonna keep. It's great. I mean, I have the Quagmire, I have Perfect Land, I have turn 3 Sky Spawner. It is just amazing. I could use it to drop, but you know, it's already a very sweet hand. Hopefully I'll draw a 4th land, not like a game 1. That was really annoying. When you keep 3-lander and never get a 4th land, ugh. The event did not have a turn 2, which is great. And Oblivion Strike is also something that's going to be great if I can ever draw a 4th land. I think, honestly, if I just draw a 4th land, I should be winning that. Because the power level in my hand is amazing. And I did draw for a 4th land. Yeah, that's great. Alright. Amazing. I have 2 very good removal spells that can deal with a bunch of things. I have the Seed Guardian. Yeah. This is the kind of hand that if you draw your lands, you are in very solid shape. Alright, Sower is not too threatening right now. Bone Splinter. Well, given the Eldrazi token, that's most likely going to be useful at some point. So if I draw another land, next turn I could play Brood Hunter plus Splintering something, which could be good. I guess I'll attack there, no reason not to. And I will play Seed Guardian. The reason I could play Brood Hunter Worm because it's better if my opponent does have a what's the name? The complete disregard that they use game 1. That being said, if I do that, next turn I cannot, unless I draw a forest, I cannot Bone Splinter plus 4-drop creature. So I think playing Seed Guardian is better. Also, it's a more resilient creature most of the time. Okay, Lantern, alright. I don't mind that too much. Obviously, a disregard there would be annoying, but there's nothing I can do about that. Alright, so the event did have the disregard. Sure. Guess I'll take 3 there. I will have to deal with those creatures at some point. That's the main concern here. Well, I drew Summoner, so I guess I'll... Yeah, Nettledrone is annoying, but I think Sower is a bit more annoying, especially since my opponent does have access to colorless now. Alright. Just need to make sure I don't drop too low. Here I'm at 12, and next turn it might be 10 if the opponent has to activation of the Nettledrone. Alright. I have 2 very solid removal, as I mentioned, and 2 very good creatures in hand, so I don't feel too threatened again. Like, Pathfinder is something I don't care about. Crumbling Vestige, alright. Black. The issue is that I'm still unable to kill that Nettledrone because there's always something more threatening that needs to be killed. But now that I drew my 5th land, yeah, I really feel fine. Also, I'm applying pressure of my things. Guess I'll swing with those 2 if he wants to trade. That's great, but I don't think it's likely to happen. And I'm definitely keeping the Scion around to block the Nettledrone if needed. That thing has dealt so many damages, though. Alright, alright. Even more. Hopefully that's something that I don't need to hemorrhage on that. Alright. Well, the opponent is going very deep in the burn thing, I would say. A Carrier Thrall. Alright. Kinda wanna kill that, honestly. On the other hand, I kinda wanna play a Pass Warden. Also, if I play Pass Warden, the next turn I might potentially Oblivion Strike plus Blinding Drone, and this will most likely deal 2 more damages. Also, I kinda need to start trying to raise. I think, I don't know. I mean, I understand that Nether Drone is very annoying, but I feel like this uses my mana better. And yeah, I can afford to take 1 or maybe 2 more damages. Because even if I take 2 more damages, the opponent cannot kill me off a 3 damage burn spell. They put a card on bottom and might, yes, cry upkeep pretty much as expected. And bottom again. Okay, so that's good news, most likely. An Invoker. Well, I'm glad I kept my strike around, because I think this is much more threatening than the... Actually, is it? I'm not sure. Anyway. Yeah, I think I kinda have to kill that. It's gonna be killing me faster than anything else. Unfortunately, I did not draw a lander, but not much I can do. I guess I'll swing with those. Kinda wanna keep the summoner around. I guess I lose to a threaten effect pretty much no matter what. But yeah, the issue is that my opponent played so many threatening things that I ended up never being able to kill the Nether Drone. Alright, scry again. The good news is that if the opponent doesn't draw a creature with a large amount of toughness, or a burn spell, or... I mean, there's not much that saves my opponent at this point, I think. Bottom, alright, so that's good news, I would say. Hopefully we'll see no burn spell, and yup, that's gonna be a win. That was quite frightening. I mean, that Nether Drone, I think, dealt something like 15 damages to me. That was something. Yeah, I think maybe I took a hit from the Sower. Yeah, I took a hit from the Sower. So basically, the Nether Drone dealt 12 damage to me. Anyway, that's gonna be match 1, and I see you guys in a few seconds for match 2. Again, feel free to leave a like or subscribe if you did enjoy that video. That's really appreciated. And yep, see you in a few seconds.